Here he is, joined by the four Danettes. It's Dan Patrick.
Welcome to the program. Gang's all here, ready to go on this Wednesday. Dan and the Danettes, Dan Patrick Show. The breaking news, Aaron Hernandez, the former Patriots tight end, committed suicide in prison sometime earlier this morning. Juxtapose that to the Super Bowl champion Patriots at the White House later on today. If you'd like to get in touch with the program, you can. 877-3DP-SHOW. Email address dp@danpatrick.com or Twitter handle at DP-SHOW. Say good morning to our radio and TV partners around the country. I know people will react in different ways. We react differently to death. But with Aaron Hernandez, how do you react to a suicide of a bad person? A person who took at least one life, maybe two lives, and then took his own life. Even people who tweet, "Rest in peace, Aaron Hernandez," are probably going to be vilified today. And trying to approach this in, the right way, mature way. He had a tragic life from the standpoint of who he was, what he was, bad decisions, worked to get something in the NFL, and then was leading a double life. But I think what people are failing to understand about Aaron Hernandez, and a former teammate told me that even when he was with the Patriots, he was just a dark individual, that he didn't have a sense of humor. Even when he got there as a rookie and they were trying to haze him, he was going to kill Wes Welker. In fact, we tried to get Wes Welker on the show. This is a couple of years ago. Wes did not want to talk about Aaron Hernandez at all. He I think, was afraid of Aaron Hernandez. But, Aaron Hernandez takes his own life. He was just back in the news when people started to think, oh, my gosh, Aaron Hernandez just got off. He found not guilty of double murder, double homicide. We had not thought about Aaron Hernandez in a long time. He's still in prison, life without parole. He was never going to play football again. He was going to maybe get an appeal with this new attorney. And you wonder, here's Aaron Hernandez going to trial, being able to dress in a suit, probably doesn't have shackles on him. He's able to turn around and see his girlfriend. He's able to have a lunch. He's able to sit. He's not surrounded by criminals. And he's doing this for 2 months. And this is when he showed emotion when they read that verdict. I think that, the emotion he was showing could have been related to the fact that he knows, I go back to prison after this. I was found not guilty. I'm going back to prison. And I'm going to have to fight for a new trial, and who knows if I get a new trial. If you file an appeal, what happens? But he goes back there. And I don't mean to play amateur psychiatrist or therapist. I'm just trying to understand, as I look at this, the timing of this, the timeline of this with Aaron Hernandez. Now, you commit suicide. What was it? I'm still interested, fascinated by that. I don't root for death, but I don't have sympathy for Aaron Hernandez. I have sympathy for his victims, and that's what's lost on this. I don't want to see R.I.P. Aaron Hernandez. I hope he doesn't rest in peace. What's lost is the victims here, that Aaron Hernandez was, so calculated in what he was doing. And I don't know if it dawned on him as well that he kills Odin Lloyd because he thinks Odin Lloyd is going to tell, the police information about this other double homicide. So the previous double murder, so he kills him. He thinks that guy's going to rat him out, and maybe he probably realizes he gets found not guilty for killing these two guys. And he's thinking, why did I kill Odin Lloyd? I just got off with this double homicide. Who knows what's going through his mind? But the double life he lived was, the fake life was the football player. He was successful at being, acting like he was an athlete. He was a great football player, but the motions that he went through, the persona that he put on to be this football player, to convince Robert Kraft to give him a $40 million contract. That's the double life. The real life was the bad guy, the guy who was killing people, the guy who had a dark past, the guy who had a history at Florida. That's the double life. That's his real life. The fake life was, hey, I'm a football player with the Patriots here. The Patriot way. He bought into it, or at least convinced Robert Kraft to give him a $40 million contract. So Aaron Hernandez commits suicide in prison. So the breaking news earlier this morning.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.